Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Logan. I'm a Southeast Michigan realtor. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to buy a house with no money down. If you're dreaming of owning a home but where you can't afford the down payment, you're in the right place. Mistakenly, many people believe that you need to put 20% down in order to afford a home. In fact, 60% of current homeowners hold this to be true, but it's actually quite different. The average first-time homebuyer typically only puts down around 6 to 9%. And there's programs out there that actually let you buy with no money down. And in this video, we'll be covering how to buy a house with no money down, step by step. We'll cover what no money down really means, the zero mortgage options such as USDA and VA, and the low down payment alternatives such as FHA, as well as all of the down payment assistance programs. Buying a house with no money down simply means you will not have to pay an upfront down payment. What a down payment is, it's just the cash that you contribute to the purchase price of the home, typically 10 to 20%. Now, there are zero down, no money down mortgage options that offer 100% financing, meaning the lender is covering the entire purchase price of the home. In other words, you put no money down at closing. However, this doesn't mean that there's no money needed at all. There's still going to be other forms of upfront costs, such as closing costs, which typically run from 2 to 5% of the purchase price of the home. For example, on a $200,000 home, closing costs might be roughly $4 to $10,000. So you'll need to plan for these expenses even if you do receive the 100% financing. Keep in mind with a zero down loan, your monthly payment is going to be higher because you're financing a larger amount. Some zero down loans have a one-time funding fee or a slightly higher interest rate to offset the risk. The bottom line is that no money down gets you into the door of home ownership sooner, but you should be prepared to take on the extra costs that come with that. Next, let's look at the specific programs that allow you to buy a house with no down payment. The two main mortgage programs in the US that truly allow 0% down are the USDA and VA loans. These are no money down home loans that have specific eligibility requirements. So let's get into them. So starting off with our USDA loan, this is going to be designed to get people into the rural and suburban areas. And this is a no money down home loan, so it's 100% financeable. The U.S. Department of Agriculture backs these loans to encourage homeownership in smaller communities. To qualify for this loan, you must buy in a eligible USDA area, and I'll put a link in the description below where you can find out if the area you're looking for is USDA eligible. So for this loan, your household incomes actually have to be below a certain limit. It's going to be around no more than 115% of the average income in the area you're looking at. You should keep in mind that the USDA loans are for primary residences only, and there's also going to be upfront fees as well as annual fees. If you meet the location and income criteria, the USDA loan can be an amazing zero down mortgage option with relatively low interest rates. Next, we'll go into VA loans, which are going to be beneficial for U.S. military veterans, active duty service members, and some surviving spouses. If you're eligible for a VA loan, these can be some of the best loans out there as they don't require any money down. And they also have no PMI, which is private mortgage insurance, which is going to save you a couple $100 every month. The VA loan is backed by the Department of Veteran Affairs, and often lenders will offer you competitive interest rates. Now, there is a one-time funding fee, but this can be financed into the loan itself. If you or your spouse has served in the military, I would definitely look into the VA loan. It offers no money down, no PMI, and often competitive interest rates. It's a very easy way to get your foot into the door of homeownership. Outside of USDA and VA, a true first-time homebuyer no money down mortgage is truly limited. Now, if you aren't eligible for these two types of loans, we can look into low down payment loans. So let's explore some of those. The FHA loan is insured by the Federal Housing Administration and is very popular with first-time home buyers. The down payment can be as low as 3.5%. The FHA loans are generally easier to qualify for if you have less than perfect credit or a high debt-to-income ratio. And you can even cover the 3.5% for the down payment in the forms of gift funds or down payment assistance. FHA actually allows 100% of the down payment to be gifted. Now, with the FHA loan, there is going to be private mortgage insurance, and that's going to be in the form of an upfront fee and an annual fee that gets worked out to be paid monthly. And this extends the entire life of the loan if you choose the lowest down payment option. But even for this con, the FHA loan can be a lifeline for some people with limited savings. Now, even though these options are for low down payment, you should keep in mind that the lower the down payment is, the more your monthly mortgage payment is going to be. Now, it might be a better idea for you to maybe put a little bit more down if you can to save on interest over time. But for people who have limited savings, this is a great way to get your foot into the door of homeownership. Now, let's talk about how we can cover even that small down payment and maybe even the closing costs. And I'm talking about down payment assistance. So let's get into it. Even if the 3.5 to 5% down payment seems too much for you, there are thousands of down payment assistance programs across the country that help first-time homebuyers or homebuyers with limited savings get their foot into the door of homeownership. These programs often provide funds for your down payment as well as your closing costs. Now, the down payment assistance programs can be taken in the form of grants, zero to low interest loans, or forgivable loans that are erased if you stay in the house for a certain period of time. For example, a city might give you $10,000 as a forgivable loan that will be erased if you stay in the home for 5 years. Many U.S. states have housing finance agencies that offer their own down payment assistance programs, and often cities and counties will have their own down payment assistance programs. Now, this varies case by case, so I would look into your local city or county and to see what down payment assistance program they offer. Typically, you must be a first-time home buyer, which just means you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, and there's going to be certain income limits usually, and it might require you to take a home buyer education course. The amount of assistance you get varies widely, but the average down payment assistance benefit is around $17,000, which is enough to cover 3 to 5% of your down payment as well as some closing costs in most cases. There are over 2,000 programs nationwide, and a good place to start is just doing a quick Google search with the name of your state followed by first time homebuyer program. When used wisely, down payment assistance programs can be a very easy way to attain home ownership with limited savings. Thank you for watching my first time homebuyer's guide on how to buy a house with no money down. These zero down mortgage options should make you feel more confident in your home buying journey. If you found this information helpful, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more real estate tips and guides. I regularly post content for buyers and sellers to make informed decisions. Also, if you have any questions or want to share your experience with buying a house with no down payment, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Good luck house hunting, and remember, you don't need a bunch of cash in order to buy a house. Sometimes you don't need any at all.